JJ say very clearly was he wanted championship shape. So Luka came back in good condition. Austin Reaves, I will say this, has had 2 excellent preseason games. He's looked very, very good. The Luka-Austin Reaves backcourt, even without LeBron James, could be very powerful to start the season.
So, NBA preseason has given us many highlight moments, and Luka Doncic, well, he showed no mercy when he stepped on the floor.
Doncic step back 3 in the face.
Now, the reason defenders always fall victim to the step back is because with Luka being someone who could push past them to the rack down this angle, they want to make sure they're ready to defend it. So that makes them step back slightly when he acts as if he's going to attack that way. But in reality, it's a gather into a step back that creates about a 4 to 5 foot distance between him and his defender, and now there's no stopping him. When you're matched up with Luka, it's best that you pick him up high so he can't just get into his action with ease, but at the same time, this could be to your detriment. As when guys play you tight, this is the perfect time to use a quick move as an offensive player to set yourself up. And when we're talking about Luka Doncic, all it takes is him getting to his desired spot, and once again, with this amount of space given for him to pull up, you already know it's straight cash. I know for some of you it may look easy to guard, but here's something you have to think about. When Luka's operating on the floor, he can very well set up his teammates at any time. As here when the pick and roll action is underway with Ayton, he could deliver a bounce pass right through the middle of the defense or lob it over the top. So that's why we see this defender here not only put his hands up high, but he also slightly jumps when Luka gives the pass fake, and although his hands are up ready to contest, this just isn't close enough to bother Doncic when he lets it fly. Luka's 3-point shooting is a major threat, whether it's off the pick and roll or off the catch, but where we truly see the creation of Doncic is when he decides to ISO to attack the basket. With his signature size up, all it takes is getting his defender to commit hard to the crossover one way, as now he can attack the top foot to pursue the basket, giving him the advantage on the defender. Once he arrives in the paint, he could go up, but with a big right on his hip, this very well could get blocked. So instead of going right up, Doncic serves the up fake to get the big in the air, and right here is where it's key that you always stay unpredictable, because as most players will use that fake to then turn around into a jumper, Luka already knows the defender is looking for that, so he decides to give him one more fake to make him bite once again, and now he can lean into his body for the contact to draw the and one. Now this creation isn't just limited to his driving, as here when he attacks the left side after getting past his defender, he could decide to go all the way to the basket, but with the big rotating over, this will make the conversion inside even more difficult. This here's where Doncic stops to then snake into his defender's body to keep him out of the play while not committing further on the drive, and now he's able to bounce out to connect on a fading bank shot. Yeah, Luka is just one of those players who can affect the game from all areas on the floor while making it look quite easy. And like earlier when we talked about the worry of him dissecting your defense with his passing, well when he comes off the screen from Ayton, he attracts the attention of 2 defenders, allowing Ayton to roll to the basket uncovered, and even when surrounded by 1, 2, 3 defenders when getting close to the paint, Luka easily floats this over the top for the alley-oop connection. These pick and rolls become so dangerous for the opposing team that you'll see them try and get ahead of the play by popping out aggressively to stop Doncic. But here's the thing, Luka is always ready to audible his route if needed, and at the same time, he can locate his target in a split second. So when this defender tries to jam Luka up, it's a spin move back towards the middle, and if you look towards the right side of your screen, you're going to see this defender get in heel position to stop a pass from going to Ayton on the roll. So what does Luka do? Well instead, he just no-looks it to the corner for a knockdown tray ball. Now, not only was Luka showing off his offensive arsenal, as Austin Reaves will set up this handoff so he can come off attacking right, and just like we've seen with Luka, the defense will get overzealous by coming out far to stop the play, but this is where you leave yourself vulnerable to a sharp cutback going the other way, giving up 2 points inside. When you look at Reaves, he's one of those guys who doesn't need the ball in his hands for a lot of time to create a look for himself to score, as he'll instead use a quick move to manipulate the defense, such as using a pass fake to the corner to make this defender bite since he's the only one back. And at this moment, the next defender was already gunning to the corner, which will make it hard for him to turn all the way around to cover Reaves, so another 2 points inside is made easy. Now, as simple as AR makes it look, he's actually one of the craftier scorers in the league who is just fearless when it comes to scoring the ball. Now, this isn't me saying that he's top tier or anything like that, but when you see him reject the screen to pursue the basket, only to then stop on a dime while feeding the defender a slight bump into a step back, this is when you know he's getting into his bag. And no matter if the defense is tight or not, Reaves can find a way to shed them, and once you go under the screen, it's pretty much a done deal. This same exact thing goes for Steph Curry, because we all know he's the greatest shooter ever. So when these handoffs get initiated, for one, there's no way you go under the screen, and for two, if you're the other defender in this situation, you have to be out above the 3-point line ready to force him to drive, or else you'll fall victim to an easy pull up from 28 feet.
Match up this time. Curry comes down, second man.
Like seriously, I understand that people don't want to get blown by to the basket, but Curry is known for trying to get open once he passes half court. So although you want to give yourself a step just in case he pursues the basket, this is one of the worst things you can do, because now you're giving him nothing but time and space to let it fly. It truly doesn't matter if it's created with his handle or his movement. The defense needs to be on their P's and Q's regardless, because even a slight mishap in communication, as we see here from Portland, ends in Caleb Love being at least 3 steps behind Curry, and honestly, you're already cooked at this point. Steph is just not one of these guys you can be lazy with, as he'll always be setting himself up to succeed with his movement on the floor. And although he's a sniper from deep, his IQ is off the charts. So instead of just sitting out on the 3-point line here and waiting for a pass, he decides to cut to the basket when he notices Yang crashing inside. So now Trace can drop off the bounce pass for Curry to lay it off the glass. As you can see, the offensive game of Curry isn't just limited to his outside shooting. Such as here when the defenders pick him up high, he has no problem gunning right at them to make them slide hard one way. And right here is where I want you to look at the floor. The way Curry is attacking is heavily crowded with Jrue Holiday ready to slide over, so the perfect move in this situation is to change directions abruptly. Steph ends up using the behind the back with a slight push off to send his defender flying, and the contact bucket inside could have been an and one. This commotion Steph causes on offense can make an entire defense key in on him to stop him from scoring, but like I said, he's not limited at all. So this just grants him the easy opportunity to spray it out for an assist. Not only is Curry someone who can score in many ways, as when we shift over to Shai, he'll shift his defender with a hard crossover to go towards the middle of the floor, and here with his defender all up on him, this is when he uses that strength to bump him off deep into the paint, serve the hezzy into a fake attack left, and now with this right side of the floor wide open, the spin off into the lay is just smooth. I know some people hate his style of play, but when you watch SGA, he just makes the game look effortless. Sometimes he'll make it simple by just attacking his matchup head on to then bully them back before rising up to bury it over the top, and other times it'll be more methodical, with him using the jab step to set up this one dribble pump fake, and right here is where the defense is now in trouble.
One matchup, and it's a matchup he's going to win with a chance for 3. The angles and creativity of the MVP.
Shai just has an elite bag that can't be stopped, and in this preseason we've seen not only him, but many stars balling out. Let me know in the comments down below what players or teams you're looking forward to seeing this season. Alright, now that we got all the analysis out the way, the team I'm looking out for is the Orlando Magic, baby. And the players that I'm looking for is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, because I want to see how he comes back after his MVP run. Of course, Paolo Banchero, because, hey, he plays for my favorite team. Another one is going to be Anthony Edwards, because I want to see how he takes that leap as they try to get to a championship in Minnesota. And last but not least, Cade Cunningham, because that playoff series versus the Knicks had me on the edge of my seat, and I saw just how poised Cade was when he played. So those are my picks for the season. And hey, for you Lakers fans, I'm sorry, but I do not think that the defense is going to hold up. Luka, LeBron, and Austin Reaves are all liabilities. I don't care if he came in skinny. I don't care if Luka on that Ozempic. I don't care what it is. He back in America. Fast food finna take him out. I do not think he's gonna move his feet on defense. I'm sorry. LeBron, he about 58. He ain't moving on D that well either. Austin Reaves, he trying to get a bag, so he trying to sauce it up on offense. He ain't gonna be playing defense either. So defense wins championships and defense takes you far. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all can say the Celtics were shooting threes. I don't want to hear it. When you got that many liabilities, you're cooked. You're cooked. But that's my picks for the season of the team I'm looking at and the players. Maybe there's a couple more, but let's talk about it below. Hey, thank you everybody for supporting me. Continue to watch these videos all the way through. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you're first to know when I upload. It's very important that y'all tap in right when I upload so we can drive the numbers up. I love all y'all. I hope y'all have a blessed day, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next video.